Okay, are you ambitious, goal-driven, and dedicated to your goals and dreams? I have good news. Your success is honestly inevitable. However, there is no real finish line, and you actually might be letting life pass you by in the act of chasing. You, and maybe me, might have a destination addiction. Hi friends, it's Caitlin and welcome back to the Floating Rock podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. What a crazy thing to accuse you of so early in the episode. Oh my god, sorry. Destination addiction, also maybe known as like the success or like achievement trap. This kind of thought came to me recently because I've been feeling this underlying kind of anxiety and like feeling that I'm like chasing and running towards this finish line that doesn't exist. If you're new here and are kind of unfamiliar with like the things that I'm pursuing and the things that I'm doing, obviously we're here on a podcast. I'm chasing a podcast dream. I'm chasing a screenwriting dream. I also just, there's other things that people also chase, like a fitness journey for me, like a, like eating healthy wellness journey, a personal like development journey. But sometimes I feel like I find myself racing through the day trying to like check off as much as I can. And maybe this kind of relates to my whole like you're a human, not a productivity machine episode, but sometimes it feels like I'm racing towards this finish line that literally doesn't exist. So I thought I'd come on here today because I think a lot of us, especially with like all this comparison on social media, and I just feel like we are seeing so much more of people's quote unquote end product, their quote unquote success, their destination, if you will, so much more than I think we were ever naturally supposed to as humans. And it's making me think that it's leading a lot of us, especially like those people who are naturally ambitious and naturally goal-driven and like want to have these really big lives and these big successes, to have this like destination addiction or this, like fall into the success trap. So the idea behind this is let's say you get the CEO title. Let's say I make the award-winning film. You still like, life goes on after you achieve that dream. And it makes me even think about like the podcast and this like social media journey, whatever. Like if and when, let's go with when, I quote unquote get to the point that I wanted to be at, you will still be doing it every day. Like there won't just be a day that it feels like all of your dreams came true, because then you're going to fall asleep and tomorrow's going to happen and then what? And and this is not to say that achieving your dreams is a bad thing and that there is no like achievement that happens and that there is no destination to get to. But I mean, call me cheesy. I really think it is all about the journey. And a recent journey that I personally feel like I've been going on is like falling in love with the journey and like the act of creating and like just the act of doing. I think you could even trace this back to like your life personally, of anything that you've ever achieved, and how it doesn't just feel like your life has been completed necessarily the day that happens. You're probably going to feel on this high of achievement for a little bit, and then you're going to realize like, oh my God, now I have to like do the things that come with this job title. And, now I have to live it and like keep doing kind of what I was striving to do the entire time, but now almost without that like goal to chase. Like now you're already there. Like now you're in the chair, girl. So anyway, I thought I'd come on today and share with you guys like 7 different like ways or like mantra things I've been telling myself to like make sure I'm not falling into this destination addiction and this like success trap, because I think there's a reason why we all are like, we want the big dreams that we do, the things that we're chasing. Like there's a reason for that. And I know that it's not just the destination, but it is so easy comparing yourself and seeing other people's versions of that online and like, look, they're already there. They did it. But it's like, no, they're doing it every single day. Like there just is no finish line. And yeah, these are just some of like the 7 things that I've been telling myself and or doing or trying to do to kind of combat that. Because I think the worst thing you could honestly do with your life is miss it. Whether you are trying to be somebody else, whether you're distracted, whether you're scrolling, whether you're trying to impress people, whether you're busy chasing and not looking around, there's so many ways that you could end up quote unquote feeling like you missed out on life. And I don't want you to feel like that. And I surely don't want to feel that way. So let's just get into it. Number 1, I think if you're really passionate about what you're doing, what you're pursuing, what you're chasing, you do enjoy it. Like you would like do it for hours and hours on end. You lose track of time, like, which we love. However, that's what kind of bleeds into that time that you would just be existing and living as a person. Recently, I will like go to work in the morning, like my barista job, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'm just gonna like work on my stuff all day. And then I've just been working until I go to sleep again. And I'm like, whoa. And just because it's not a 9 to 5 or an office job or working for somebody else, it's nonetheless, I'm still alone in my room, alone at the coffee shop, like working and not interacting with people and taking in life, And I think obviously that's okay sometimes, but if that turns into like a lot of your everyday, like is that really a good thing? Like, is that how you want to be spending all of your time? So the idea for number 1 is to give yourself a log off time, whether it's studying for something, applying for things, writing something, like creating content, making your art, whatever that looks like for you. Telling yourself, I'm stopping at this time and I'm exiting work mode and I'm being me. I'm going to go have dinner with my family. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to have a wind down. Like, it is so easy because you do probably find joy in what you're doing and like passion in it to not feel like you need a log off time. But realistically, like, you really do. And I'm talking to myself. I really do. So I think that's one of like the best things I feel like I'm trying to implement is like telling myself at 7 p.m. I'm done for the day and I'm pouring into myself, whether that's a face mask or the journaling or just like getting ready for the next day, just like being a human, being me, and like pouring into my own life. Or also like, I know that a lot of times like people work best at night, and like there's kind of like a fun way to like romanticize, you know, having a late night editing session or a late night study session. And like some people really do work best at night. So also just like having logged off times, like it doesn't need to just be like you log off at 7 p.m. but you're like, oh man, I work really good at night. Like if for you that looks like from noon to 4 p.m. like I'm doing me, like I'm like living, loving that too. Number 2, once again, probably stemmed from the enjoyment of what you're doing and the enjoyment of what you're chasing, is sometimes you need to actually plan in your experience. And I think that kind of is similar to the first one, is sometimes you're not just going to stumble upon a hang. Sometimes you're not going to stumble upon or make the initiative to go on that walk or do that little side quest, that hike, like go to the beach. Like, honestly, I'm someone who loves to like kind of over plan my life. I just find it satisfying and like I like the predictability. I feel like I like waste less time that way. And I actually try to, and I feel like do a decent job at like planning in my experiences and like making it a point to plan in your experiences, because like that's not a bad thing to like make those kinds of plans, even if it does seem a little tedious or like, okay, why would you need to plan to cook dinner, like, and do like take time for that? But like sometimes like that's what you need to do, like especially if your brain works like that and like likes to work in a planning fashion. Like make yourself plans for experience, and it also like makes it more fun, and like you have like a full schedule to look forward to. Like make those plans with all your friends and like kind of like work that into your schedule. As like sometimes like I love doing that too as like a brain break as well, like taking time, like if you're working on stuff in the morning, taking like the middle of the day to like go get lunch with somebody, go get coffee, and then like get back to it later, or go have like a little gym date, or you know, so on and so forth. Number 3 is to make sure you're actually loving what you're doing. If you haven't already listened to my Taking Advantage of Your Creative Cycles episode, I think it's episode 95, definitely give her a listen, because I feel like that realization was kind of the catalyst of where I'm at and like kind of where I'm going internally right now. And sometimes I think you need to like reevaluate your creation style and like what era you are in with what you're doing to like make sure that you're fully enjoying it. Because I think sometimes, basically I was talking about quality and quantity creation eras, whether it's you're just making a ton, throwing stuff at the wall, just making, or vice versa, really taking your time and slowing down and like putting a lot of time and effort into what you're doing. I think there's benefits to both. But I realized I was just in this quantity era for so long that I was like, oh my God, I like stopped enjoying it and like putting play and fun into what I was doing, or at least as much as I should be or like can be. And I was like, I think I need to enter a quality era. And I've been having so much more fun, and I've been like truly like loving what I've been doing and creating and like putting my time into. So yeah, maybe just evaluating that for yourself and maybe seeing if you need a little bit of a shift in like whatever creative era you're in. This is one of the biggest ones, reminding yourself, is more of a mantra, that there is no finish line. Like there is no finish line, whatever you're chasing. Even like a relationship, like think about like people think that like getting married and having kids is like the biggest thing you could ever do with your life. Like that's not even a finish line. Sure, you have your wedding day. Oh my God, you're married to them for the rest of your life. Hopefully, you know, or not, I don't know. And same with your kids, like you have your child, but then you have to go raise them for 18 years. Like I feel like there's so many things that we just think are these finish lines that we chase and run towards and like, you know, compare ourselves to people. But like, honestly, just reminding yourself to like look at your feet and look around and know that there is no finish line. And that honestly, part of the life that you are longing for, you probably already have. And honestly, from the finish line that you will eventually get, from that line that you will eventually get to, you might look back and like wish and long for the things that you have right now. I feel like I talk about this one a lot, and honestly it's still something I'm always trying to practice more, but intentional presence is so important, especially if you might have this destination addiction or the success trap or anything like that. Is like making it a point and making an effort to actually like be present at times. And like, because, I think presence comes and goes in waves naturally of like, you're doing something and then like you get hit with this wave of presence. But I also think it's really important to make time and space for yourself to be present and like allow there to be silence. Like I always talk about it. I love a silent walk. Like that's one of my favorite ways to slow down and like look around at the day and be like, look, I'm present right now here in this moment. And like, honestly, I think a lot of the time it is silence. And I also think romanticizing things brings presence to it as well. So romanticizing things that you're doing, especially like the mundane, like romanticizing chores, I feel like is like a great one that like brings you presence. And yeah, I think just whenever it comes to just that feeling of like you're racing and there's this finish line, just like stop, look around and like be present, girl. Ooh, number 6 is to participate and consume things that have absolutely nothing to do with your dream and with your goal and stuff like that, with your career path, if you will. Or even if the whole thing, or even if you're resonating more with the whole like marriage and kids finish line, like doing and consuming things that have absolutely nothing to do with that, I think is so important. Like I was having this thought the other night. So I downloaded this Amy Poehler book. It was some sort of self-help book that she wrote on my Kindle. And I had once again, like that full day of working on stuff and creating, which was great. But then to go to sleep and also be consuming more improvement and more growth and more self-help content, I was like, oh, like choke me, kill me. Like, no, that just was so much. Like that's too much. So like, if you do read, like making sure what you're reading is like fantasy, romance, like make it not at all related to what you are trying to do and trying to pursue. And if you do enjoy reading and consuming that self-help content, like don't let it be right before you go to bed maybe, or like find the times to do that, or don't let that be the only content you're consuming. Or something I love to talk about, and I was actually trained a girl at work the other day, and she told me she wanted to get into nursing, and something I had heard while I was at school from like a actress woman who came to speak to us, where she was like, honestly, one of the best things I did for my career was not working at like a talent agency or a literary agency, like working in the film industry. She was like, honestly, working at a coffee shop was so much better for me because my energy was not spent. My creative juices weren't poured in other people's projects. Like she was like, I could go to work, be that version of me, and then come home and work on my stuff and be that version of me. And I'm like, and I've been loving that. Like, honestly, I feel like that's personally what works really well for me. I think there are some people where like being in it all the time actually does help, but I think that's honestly something that's okay, and like maybe even a good thing to like work a day job that's kind of unrelated, have hobbies that are unrelated, have friends that are fully unrelated and so different from you. Or yeah, have other like knitting, other hobbies, and playing music, like things that are just that you can't ever make money off of, things that you just genuinely enjoy consuming and participating in, that get you nowhere, honestly, but happiness, enjoyment, and experience. Because I honestly feel like if you're always trying to chase growth and always trying to chase being better, you're always going to feel like you're behind because all you're doing is chasing. And that could be a note to myself as well. And lastly, ooh, guys, wait, this actually reminds me of my first ever episode. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to it. It's called, I think, Finding Your Superpower. And number 7 is finding out the root of what you are chasing. I know, and I would assume, everyone that's here who is chasing a big goal, you want to do good with it. And I don't exactly know what that looks like for everybody. Like whether it's I want to help people, I want to entertain people, I want to make them feel good, like usually, or I want to bring people together. Like there's so many different roots behind these goals that we have. And my number 7 and my thing that I feel like makes you really feel like you are experiencing life and you're not doing the act of chasing all the time is to be and do the root of that goal in your everyday life. Just be that person. And just a reminder that like your career is not the only avenue at which you will make an impact on the world. For example, for myself, I think a lot of the root behind the pod and the things that I write, like script-wise, I really want to make people feel happy and laugh and feel comforted and joyful. Like I loved sitcoms growing up. I love a comfort podcast. I love a comfort creator because they just make me feel good. They make me laugh. Like I love that, and I want to be that, whether it is through TV shows or films or through this weekly podcast. Like that is my goal, is to make people feel happy and laugh and comfortable. I can do that though in every single day through my interactions, especially if you find yourself in environments with other people or just like the people that you have in your life. Like I feel like working at a coffee shop, I get to live in that purpose of making people laugh and feel special and seen and heard and happy. I get to do that like every single day without even touching a camera, without touching a script. And I think that is really fulfilling, honestly, and that can make you feel so much more present and so much less like you're doing this chase towards achieving something, because realistically, you are achieving that goal probably right now. Like, if you want to be in healthcare and you want to help people and be there for people and be caring, realistically, you probably already do that in your life, and you could probably be doing it even more and just showing up as yourself for the people around you. And I think that if you actually feel content within yourself that you are actively every single day fulfilling that purpose of yours, I feel like you will feel so much less of this chase and this need to be at the finish line, because you have kind of what you want right now. But that's not to say that goals aren't good, because we love goals here too, but it's always balance. With everything in life, it's always balance. And just know that, like, you are doing the damn thing, like, you are living your purpose every day. And if you truly are like, Caitlin, I'm not, take a look around, re-listen to the episode, listen to other episodes, consume other people's content about this kind of thing, refigure out that purpose for yourself. Like, do some journaling, figure out that purpose, and find a way to be that person and be that impact on the world every single day, because then you will never fall into that success trap, because that is just who you are and that is the value that you bring to the world. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope that maybe if you feel like you've been racing towards the finish line and just like not stopping and looking at the life around you, that this episode kind of like inspired you to stop and slow down and just look around and realize that you probably have a lot of what you want right now, inspire you to make some plans and like be present and do your life experiences, and just know that there is no finish line, and live and experience your life right now to its fullest. So yeah, follow the pod at floating.rock.podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow and rate the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'll love you forever, and it'll tell other people that I'm cute and fun and that they should listen as well. Or yeah, word of mouth if you're like, wow, I just heard this really cool podcast. She's really fun and silly and awesome, like whatever. So yeah, whatever you guys feel like doing today. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.